Devlog number 4. It has been quite a while since I posted one of these, but in the meantime, I did implement quite a few number of things. So first of all, we have a new move. So you do your 3-hit combo, that was already there. And if you jump and air attack, instead of a bullet, it's a fist. And what you can do with this is pair it with the actual new move. So if you hold down while doing your finisher move of your 3-hit combo, you do a launcher, which actually shoots enemies upwards. Like that. And then what you can do is wait for this guy to come. You can kill him by accident while trying to show your new move. But what you can do is do this and then slam them down. Now it still needs a lot more juice, because right now it feels pretty weak, but for right now I'm just trying to get the gameplay right. Not the juice yet, because I don't want to like go too crazy on the juice and then it turns out I have to redo everything once I figure out that the moves actually suck. So there's that, and I've also implemented a few more gimmicks to the whole levels. So first of all, we have locked doors. You can't go in the door unless you get 2 red keys. Temporary graphics, of course. And also we have conveyor belts. So they push you faster if you go one direction, and you move slower if you go the other direction. I don't know why the walking animation is not working, but whatever. And your momentum is also preserved if you jump off it. Alright, so one more thing I've implemented is the fast fall. So just like in other platform fighters like Rivals of Aether or Smash, you can, in the air, flick downwards to just dash downwards. Just like that. So you see, instead of having a arc like that, I just go down instantly. So the whole reason we have this is for combat. So say we do a launcher, and we jump cancel out of it. It makes you go super high. And say you do an air attack. Cool. Now you want to go down to start another attack as fast as possible. How do you do that? Fast fall. So launcher, just like that. So hopefully it'll speed up combat a little bit and add a little bit more of technicality to the moveset. I don't know why this guy's here. This guy isn't supposed to... This guy isn't supposed to be here. Let me in! Okay. Weird. That wasn't supposed to happen. Anyways. So next we have moving platforms. So you jump on it and it just carries you up. And it can move up, down, left, right onto a set path just like that. And the cool thing about it is if you exit and re-enter the room, the platform will always start off at the same spot. So say if you're a speedrunner trying to route out some paths, you don't have to worry about a consistent cycle. You could just leave, re-exit the room, it'll always start off at the same spot. So it makes it easier if you're like going through the game as fast as possible. One more thing, you have a key there? Ooh, cool, a free key. You go forward, oh no, it's actually a monster house. So you can pretty much lock key items behind an enemy gauntlet. So if you want to have combat sections, you can. And now that we have the key, we can unlock that door I mentioned earlier. So this is the door that was locked before, and we can go through it now. And here we have a little rest area where we have a save station. You click it, game saved. And it does actually save the game, but there's just no way to load it right now. So the only real level we have so far is this area, which is the conveyor belt section. So it's just basically a bunch of conveyor belts you have to platform through. Because this is supposed to be where the cargo bay is. So it's where they get all the merchandise and where they transport it. Hence the conveyor belts. And it's kind of difficult to level design because you have to think about what the player's going to do, try to make it interesting enough for them. And because I don't have too many level gimmicks, it's kind of hard to keep things interesting, which I do have to implement more stuff to fix that. So the original way I laid out these levels is, first of all, I had to create the terrain using the tile map system. So you would just like lay down each tile, and each of these boxes is a room. Then I would add the entities to that room, so dragging and dropping enemies from the prefabs folder into the scene. And lastly, I would have to change this. So this is basically what tells the game what rooms are each and what connects to what. So if you wanted to make a new room, then you would have to go look at the numbers, see which one is next. So like 37, I think it's 38. And then you would just do like 38. And if you want to make it bigger, you have to lay it out like this. Just add more 38s. And then you would have to go back to the 2D scene and then make sure it aligns up. So it's kind of like not intuitive at all to do it this way. It's very slow, inefficient. Well, with the power of Godot's editor plugins, I made my own tool for this. So say we want to load up the lab map file, just paste that in there, load, and instead of a very clunky text format, we get these pretty tiles that each correspond to the room ID. So instead of having to go to the script tab and then having to like go back to 2D mode to see what kind of rooms correspond to what, no, you just have this on the side, and then you could just build your levels like this, and it just makes it easier. And the way of doing this is just really simple in Godot, actually. It's basically just UI. Like, if you know how to build UIs for Godot in a game, you know how to make editor plugins. Because these are just built-in stuff that just have basic script functionality that is pretty much exactly the same as a normal Godot script. All you have to do is just add this tool indicator at the beginning. Extremely easy once you know how to like make UIs already. Godot editor plugins, very powerful. So what do we have to do after this devlog? Well, I'd say we just need to have more stuff. We need more enemy types because that one enemy that we have on the top here isn't going to be enough. Because he's not really doing much. All he does is kind of just walk back and forth nonchalantly. And we also need to retool the combat, because as of now it's kind of just you throw out the 3-hit combo, you launch him up, and then you slam him. Part of that is going to be in the enemy design too, because one feature that I have partly implemented but not complete is a rage mechanic. So if you hit the guy enough times, then he'll get upset and break out of the stun state, so you're not just endlessly comboing the guy. Another thing we need more of is more level gimmicks, because as of now we only have these conveyor belts, we have those pulls up there, we have a dash panel, and not really much else. So that would be very important to do in the future, especially gimmicks that emphasize the player's movement. Because once again, I want this game to basically be a more accessible version of, say, like Quake 3 b-hopping, for example, where you can do this advanced technique to go fast, preserve your momentum, and it feels great to move around. I want that in a 2D Metroidvania. And we need more gimmicks that hopefully explores that idea more.